My name's Matt, welcome back to Xenomorph Universe, and this is just a little add-on, basically a footnote to the video that I released yesterday, which was why Alien Covenant failed. And this is in reply to someone who left a comment saying that this is pathetic, the video, why Alien Covenant failed, that it's fake news propaganda on Covenant, and that the movie didn't fail, and they're already working on putting together the cast of Alien Awakening. Ridley Scott will finish the prequels. Now, I didn't say that Ridley Scott wouldn't. I said there was rumours floating around that Fox may pull out, which, as far as I know to this day, we're in early August 2017, that this is true. You know what I mean? It's true that there are rumours. But what I want to do is I want to address basically the comment saying that Alien Covenant didn't fail. So in a sense, I didn't elaborate on that. The actual title is why Alien Covenant failed. So I thought I would actually, elaborate on why it is considered that Alien Covenant failed. The reason why is because there is basically in Hollywood a expected return on certain films. They like to say it's how successful it is. It's all really about money. But a film is known as successful when it returns what it either expects or higher. It is known as a so-so film in a sense if it floats around. It easily broke even. It made money, but just not what was expected. But a film can also be known as being a flop or a failure. It can still break even and even make a profit, but if it's not what it was expected to make. So, as an example, a lot of people think that Waterworld actually failed as a film. Waterworld itself didn't actually fail whatsoever. If you actually look at the numbers, it cost $172 million, according to Wikipedia, and the box office took in $265, just about. But $265 million, which is, it's nearly double. So it did make a whacking great big profit. It was regarded as a flop, not just because, there was a rumour that it did. It was regarded as a failure because of what it cost and how much it made as a percentage of a return. That was one of the reasons why Waterworld was regarded, as a failure. For the simple fact is that they pumped all this money, all this resources. $172 million back in 1995 was extremely, extremely expensive. They put an awful lot of work into this film, and it just didn't. The returns weren't what they expected. So, if we look at Alien Covenant, it cost around about $100 million to make, and it returned about $230 million, which is not good. That's comparable to Waterworld's numbers. It's double, but it's just this is Alien we're talking about. If we look at Aliens when it cost between 17 and 18 million. Obviously, this was in 1985. And the box office, between 140 and 180 million dollars, that's getting on to be 10 times what it cost. And in a sense, that's what they expected. When we look at Alien cost around about $10 million between 9 and 11, and dragged in between 100 and 200. The numbers are a bit sporadic because they weren't very good at calculating and counting back then. As they are today, they focus mainly on it nowadays. But that is between 10 and 20 times the cost of the original Alien. And you might say, well, yeah, these are all films. Let's look at modern films today. Rogue One, which is a side story. Rogue One isn't the part of the actual Star Wars saga, the Star Wars story. It's a side story. That cost $250 million thereabouts, $250 million. And it brought in $1 billion. That is 4 times, what it cost to make. That's successful. It's not just about the dollars that it brings in; it's the buzz around the film and the ratings and everything else like that. Rogue One is going to make them a hell of a lot of money through merchandising and stuff like that. And it also makes the brand better. You know, it makes the brand basically worth more. Even Fast and the Furious 8 cost 250 million. You know, $250 million, and that made $1.2 billion. It's Fast and the Furious fucking 8, for God's sake. You know, even Fast and the Furious 8 is making, you know, 4 times what Alien Covenant is making. So when you look at the original Alien, and then you look at Aliens, and then you look at how much money they put into advertising, how much they beefed this bloody film up. There was the stupid little trailer bits and all the little tittle bits on YouTube beforehand. Is it going to be this? Is it going to be that? You know, they did the same trick with Star Wars Rogue One. You know, it's the same kind of deal. It's the same way of making films nowadays. Alien Covenant fell flat on its face. Making double what it cost, or just a bit more, is not good enough, and that is considered, just like Waterworld, as a flop, as a failure. So there you have it. That is why Alien Covenant is regarded as a failure, and that is, again, Prometheus is another good example. Although Prometheus had the one buzz that we hadn't seen an Alien film in a long time, and it had the buzz that this was Ridley Scott since Alien returning to do the, you know, to start the story off again. So Alien Prometheus had a buzz that I had, that probably every Aliens fan had, and we rushed like idiots to the cinema to watch that film, and then most of us were disappointed. I remember being in the cinema watching Prometheus, and right at the end where there's that stupid black bloody dinosaur boomerang fucking creature thing. I know it's called a deacon alien or whatever, but it's, yeah, that ridiculous thing. Literally, there was 10 people I heard, you know, quite loud actually going, fuck off, as soon as it happened. They were like, just everyone was pissed off, and people were laughing and joking about it as we came out of the cinema. It was ridiculous, it was a rip-off, it was you know, there are some other comments that I've seen as well that people are saying that Alien Covenant didn't really basically do that well because it failed, what's it say, I'm reading the comments, it failed to conclude the end of Prometheus. Actually cutting away from Prometheus was a good move. The fact that you just then replace it with all that tripe that's in Covenant made it even worse. You know, people didn't go to Alien Covenant expecting answers from Prometheus. People went to the cinema to go and watch it because it was actually called Alien, and we'd seen on trailers that there were, you know, pictures of the alien. It was actually in the film, and we wanted to see actually where this was going to go. And we were all hoping maybe that they managed to rope in something with Prometheus and either ignore it or, you know, make it tangible somehow. But anyway, the fact of the matter is yes, Alien Covenant is regarded in Hollywood as a flop, as a failure. To most fans, it is a failure. If you go on IMDb, it has a 6.6 or a 6.7 rating from 120,000 votes. I do suggest that you go and watch the Angry Joe review of Alien Covenant just for the shits and giggles. It's quite a good review, and there are a lot of things that I agree with Angry Joe about his review of Covenant. I am not going to review Covenant, well, probably not. I might do little reviews on little bits of it, aspects of it in relation to other things. But there are far too many Alien Covenant reviews and all the rest of it, and in a sense, in this channel, this is not what I wanted to do. The actual video that I've just done yesterday, the Why Alien Covenant Failed, was actually just about the reason why, or the reason what you have to stick to make the films work. You know, I was saying in that video that Alien 1, 2 and 3 captivated at least the core essence of the film and what made them films stand out from other films. I hope all that doesn't piss off too many people, and look after yourselves, and I'll see you next time.